So today we're looking at more tips to help you save in your everyday life, and this is one of my favorite topics, and I'm constantly taking notes of different things to share, and as usual I do try not to repeat myself in these types of videos. But before getting into my list, I would like to thank CVS Pharmacy for partnering with me on this video. The first tip is to create a 30-day buying list. As many of us already know, miscellaneous spending, it can really kill a budget. So if you're always in the hole, it might seem logical to just not buy anything extra. However, saying that you're not going to spend any money outside of your needs isn't always realistic. And truthfully, the problem that a lot of people have isn't so much the buying of miscellaneous stuff, but rather overspending on these items. So instead of saying that you're not going to buy anything extra whatsoever, a better approach might be to plan for these miscellaneous purchases at the beginning of every month. Start by taking a look at your budget and then decide how much you have for extra things like self-care, items for the house, clothes, and so forth. And then based on what you've allocated to spend that month on miscellaneous purchases, create a 30-day buying list where you write down the things that you'll allow yourself to spend money on and then assign a dollar amount to each item. So for the next 30 days, you will only buy these non-essential items, but only if their price does not exceed the assigned dollar amount. And be specific. Don't just put clothes on your list and keep it wide open. For example, if it's starting to get cold outside, you might say, I'm only going to buy 2 sweaters this month or maybe only 1 pair of boots. And it's so important that you keep this list close and visible to you so that you have those daily reminders. And one option might be to fold it up and put it in your wallet next to your cash or cards. The next tip is to know how store rewards work. Store reward programs are great for saving money. They're usually free to join, and if you're going to shop at a store anyway, it only makes sense to get something back. But these programs are only beneficial if you actually use them and you understand how they work, because that's how you're going to get the most bang for your buck. So when you sign up for a loyalty program, make sure you understand how it works and you take advantage of as many discounts available to you. And using these programs is super easy. Usually all you have to do is scan your rewards card or your app at checkout, and you can receive an instant discount on certain items, or you can earn points toward future discounts. I've joined several programs that have saved me a lot of money, with one of those programs being CVS Pharmacy's Extra Care Rewards. As I mentioned, this video is brought to you by CVS Pharmacy, which happens to be my go-to pharmacy for makeup, medicine, toiletries, snacks, and so much more. So I'm excited to partner with them and tell you how their Extra Care Rewards program can help you save money. This program offers many deals, and if I'm headed to the pharmacy to pick up something, all I have to do is open the app, see if there are any discounts for items on my shopping list, and if I see a discount, I can add it to my card. It's that simple. But along with this perk, I've always liked the 2% back I get in extra bucks rewards every quarter, but I'm happy to share that the program has gotten better, because as of July 1st, members can now get that 2% back right away, which they can use on a future purchase. But that's not all. If you choose to save your birthday information, you will receive $3 in extra bucks rewards during your birthday month. Plus, in celebration of these extra care updates, members will receive a free gift in the CVS Pharmacy app every week in July. So if you're an Extra Care member, let us know which update you're excited about. And if not, you can join for free. Click the link in my description to sign up, get the app, and start saving. So the third item on our list is to get organized. Now, being organized might seem to have absolutely nothing to do with saving money, but the two are more related than some people realize, because disorganization can cost you. For one thing, it can contribute to clutter and losing stuff, or forgetting that you already own an item, in which case you end up buying duplicate stuff. Disorganization can also lead to missed opportunities. There have been so many times when I needed to buy something and I purposely waited until I had a coupon. But because I wasn't organized, I ended up losing it and missing out on the savings. And one of the biggest costs of being disorganized that a lot of people might not think about is there's a greater risk of misplacing statements or forgetting about due dates, which of course results in paying late fees. So come up with a system to not only organize your life, but also your finances. And this can include decluttering, automating, or setting up due date reminders. Another tip is to think about why you shouldn't buy something. I think it's so funny how sometimes when people make an impulse purchase, especially if it's something that they can't afford, they will usually sit there for several minutes and basically convince themselves that it's okay, even when it really isn't. And if this is something that you can relate to, consider taking a different approach. Instead of telling yourself how good you're gonna look in an outfit or convincing yourself that you work hard and you deserve nice things, even though you can't afford them, remove the rose-colored glasses and think about the negative consequences of buying something. Because the cons of buying something can sometimes outweigh the pros, yet we choose not to focus on those. But when you think about how a purchase might impact your finances long-term, you're able to pause for a moment and decide if it's really worth it. For example, you can think about the interest you'll pay if you carry a balance on your credit card from month to month. Or if you have to work 8 hours to pay for an unplanned purchase, consider whether it's really worth a day's work. Another thing you can do is think about the cost per wear and how often you'll use the item to help decide whether you should buy it. This is really good with clothes, especially if you have a problem with buying more than you actually need or wear. I recently read that most people only use about 20% of the things they own 80% of the time, and I'm sure that this also applies to clothes. And I know personally that I am 100% without a doubt one of these people, because I will use the same items and wear the same clothes over and over again, while others really just sit around collecting dust. So before adding to your wardrobe, seriously consider how often you're going to wear an item. If you're thinking about buying an expensive pair of jeans, but you already have a closet full of jeans, chances are you're not going to wear the new pair that often, which means the cost per wear is probably going to be high and probably not worth it. But if you have a simple wardrobe and you know you're going to wear these jeans a lot, you'll definitely get your money's worth, in which case it might be worth the purchase. If credit cards are your weakness, another thing you can do is freeze your cards, both literally and not literally. Now, as far as not literally, some credit card companies will give you the option to freeze your card, which basically allows you to pause your transactions. And this comes in handy if you lose your card, but also if you're trying to curb spending. And the good news is that there's no cost to freeze and unfreeze your card, and you can usually do this through the app. Now, if you need to take stronger measures, you can also literally freeze your credit cards, and this involves filling a bowl or a plastic baggie with water, placing your credit cards inside, and then putting everything in the freezer. The final tip is to read reviews. I cannot tell you how much money I've probably saved by taking the time to go through and read some of the customer feedback. Let me tell you, getting real, honest opinions can quickly change your mind about buying something. So always read reviews and look for common complaints. And yes, I realize that everyone's experience isn't the same. But if you're reading the same complaint over and over and you still decide to purchase an item, you might end up regretting this purchase and spending more to buy a different brand from another retailer. Real quick, last November, I found this foldable treadmill online, had it in my cart, I was ready to make the purchase, but something told me, go back, read the reviews, and I'm so glad that I did, because they were not good. And to give you a little backstory, it was cheaper than most foldable treadmills, and the common phrase in the comment section was basically, you get what you pay for. A lot of people complained about the treadmill not working after a few months and the company not responding to emails. And what was interesting about this particular treadmill is that you couldn't turn it on from the actual machine. You had to use a remote that had to be synced with your phone in order to turn it on. And if you lost the remote, or if the remote stopped working, or if you couldn't get it to sync, you couldn't use the treadmill. And that was a bit of information that I don't recall seeing in the company's description of the product. But yeah, a lot of people were complaining, saying that after a few weeks or months, the remote stopped working, and because the company wasn't responding to emails or providing instructions on how to get a replacement remote, the treadmill was pretty much useless. So yeah, I feel as if I definitely dodged a bullet there. So that's all that I have for you guys today. I really hope that you liked this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing. Here we talk a lot about personal finance, so if you like videos like this, I do post every weekend and sometimes during the week. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in a few days.